Silent Hill: The Short Message is a free game from Konami that was announced during the last PlayStation State of Play and launched the same day. And they weren't kidding with the title. This is a short game, and some kind of attempt at a message, although I think it's mostly muddled in uninspired gameplay, heavy-handedness, and some seriously stilted voice acting. I'll be honest, the first time I played through it, I hated it. It's been so long since we got a Silent Hill game, and I wanted a Silent Hill game, free download or not. What I got instead was, not that. Definitely not that.
Come on, we want sexy fix already! Just stop!
I was so disappointed and put off by the experience that initially I wrote up this review to be comically negative, joyfully trashing it just as much, if not more, than the rest of the internet has apparently already done. But as I was playing through it again to gather specific footage to fill in all the blanks where I'm complaining and there'd otherwise be a dark void, I began to better understand what the developers might have been going for here. Although I still found it to be a mostly negative experience, I could see more clearly what wasn't working for me, and it made me want to change my tone and talk about it with slightly more seriousness and sensitivity than I'd originally intended. It was pretty funny before, though, I gotta admit. There's a lot I don't like about this game, from the bare-bones gameplay to the complete lack of subtlety in its message, but I realize that the biggest reason why this game about suicide and trauma didn't move me at all, despite thematically being right up my alley for reasons I won't get into here, is because of its voice acting.
Why won't you listen to a damn thing I say?
For a traditional Silent Hill game, it would probably be fine. The delivery in these games has always been pretty flat, ever since the original, which in my opinion only benefited the atmosphere as it made the characters more creepy and mysterious.
I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
In a social commentary art piece about suicide and trauma, though, you really need more than that. You need believable actors who can deliver lines with a natural sensitivity in order to elicit emotion from the player. And there's just not a lot of that happening in this game. Your character, Anita, is the most well-acted character in the game. Her delivery isn't the best, but I don't have a huge problem with it. It's fine. It's the others that soil the experience for me. Your friend Maya, who's supposed to be saying all these uplifting and well-meaning things to you throughout to try to make you feel better about yourself, instead comes off as disingenuous, condescending, and even a little sinister. The creepy music in these scenes doesn't help much either.
With most flowers, the rot sets in, then they fall. That's the price of new life. Not cherry blossoms, though.
It honestly didn't even register with me that she was really on my side until I understood the story better later. The worst offender is your mother, who sounds like Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers.
This is all your fault! Bad things happen because of you! I got one of those headaches again!
How do you move anyone with this kind of voice acting? Why didn't Konami hire some real talent or give better direction in order to make these characters believable in a game that's seemingly about suicide prevention? A game that had the potential to help someone on the edge who might not have wanted help, but stumbled into this world out of curiosity and found something there. If Konami didn't care that much about moving that person, then what was even the point of releasing this game? What purpose does it serve? Just trauma tourism? Because as a video game, it sure isn't fun. You walk around a building, interact with objects, watch some movies, and get chased a few times for an hour and a half. That's about it. And while the Silent Hills PT demo had even less gameplay, it knew exactly what it was. A game designed to make you paint the walls with your shit, and it went 1,000% into that idea. I also take issue with the game's ending, because after putting you into an immensely dark headspace for an hour and a half, the story's resolution is over in a flash, alluding to a more positive future, but never really showing your character what it's like to be loved, to be healed, and ready to move forward with their life. It's an ending that signals change, but after all that, I would have liked to see her get a damn hug or something. Jesus. At least the art team was on point here. This is one highly detailed game with some outstanding environmental design that makes you want to zoom in periodically and take it all in. Or maybe not. The audio design is just as good, with series veteran and one of my favorite video game composers, Akira Yamaoka, delivering yet another brilliantly eerie and entirely fitting soundtrack. I really don't have anything to complain about here. A lot of talent went into the aesthetics of this game, and I feel for these artists having to see their work go uncelebrated time and time again because other members of the team didn't pull their weight. Sadly, that's just how it goes. To sum it up, the short message doesn't seem to know what it wants to be. It's not a good horror game, and it's not compelling enough and frankly too damn miserable to be therapeutic. I certainly wouldn't recommend it to anyone who's on the verge of hurting themselves, as I think it could potentially make it worse. And I think that's a shame, because speaking from experience, a lot of depressed people tend to keep to themselves, and due to its mostly solitary nature, they often take to gaming for comfort. Imagine being able to reach them with a free game from a AAA studio that could potentially change their life. Oh well.